Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I know I haven't uploaded in a while, but I've been juggling college and work and all that, so I do plan to post more often, especially because there's all this build up towards the Oscars. But anyways, today I'll be going over my top 10 most anticipated movies of the year. This year has some really good bangers lined up. I'm very excited to see most of these in theaters, but now let's get into it. Now, starting off, I'm going to do 3 honorable mentions just because there's so many good movies coming out this year. And our first honorable mention, we have Wuthering Heights. Now, before you clown me in the comments, I'm fully aware that this is nothing like the book, and I'm aware of all the discourse surrounding the movie. But I'm excited to see if this will be a complete train wreck or an unexpected masterpiece. But keep this in mind. This is coming from someone who actually loved Saltburn a lot, despite the fact the writing is not very good. Emerald Fennell has proven that her writing skills aren't the best, but one thing I'll say is that her cinematography is really well done. And I have praised Saltburn because of that in the past. So that'll be the main thing I'm looking forward to, is the cinematography of Wuthering Heights. Because everything else just kind of looks like it's not going to be that good. But I'm still a little excited to see it. For my next honorable mention, I have The Bride. Now, I'm really excited about this because, one, I'm a sucker for actors and actresses trying out directing, because although this isn't Maggie's first directorial debut, this is actually her first big budget, like wide release movie though. So I'm excited to see how her creative vision is. And on top of that, after just recently watching Hamnet, Jessie Buckley in The Bride is just gonna be awesome. Like she is very much on my radar now, and she's actually my favorite to win Best Actress for the Oscars this year, which that'll be another video. But on top of that, Christian Bale is in this movie as well, and he's one of my favorite actors of all time. So, but yeah, I'm excited to see Maggie Gyllenhaal's take on this. There's also like this weird Frankenstein craze going on this year, with Del Toro's Frankenstein being a hit. So it's interesting to see what this take is going to be like. But yeah. Now for my last honorable mention, I have Iron Lung. Now before you have my head, the only reason this didn't make my top 10 is because, one, I was never a huge watcher of Markiplier, and two, I have zero clue what the video game is about that the movie is based on. But I already have my ticket bought for the movie at the end of the month, and knowing this broke the record for the most fake blood used in a movie definitely makes me excited to see what this is. You can definitely tell that Markiplier is passionate about this, and passion is a very good sign when it comes to a movie. And I'll be seeing this in like a week from Saturday, I think. So, but now let's get to the actual list. Now for my 10th most anticipated film of 2026, we have Obsession. Now I've only ever seen the teaser trailer for this, but every time it gets me interested. I'm not too familiar with the director Curry Barker, but he honestly looks very familiar when I looked him up, so I might have seen stuff that he's in without my knowledge. The plot looks really interesting too, but it deals with the trope that can easily be done wrong, so we'll see how good it is. For my 9th most anticipated film of 2026, we have Digger. This is a film by Alejandro Iñárritu, the same director behind Birdman and The Revenant. Now, I haven't seen The Revenant yet, but Birdman is in my top 40 movies of all time, so He's a brilliant director, and a comedy with Tom Cruise sounds really awesome. I'm really excited to see this in theaters, and I know it's just going to be a fantastic ride. For my 9th most anticipated film of 2026, we have Clayface. Now, for those of you who don't know, I'm a massive DC nerd. I mean, as you could tell with the Batman stuff. So a film surrounding one of Batman's lesser utilized rogues in his gallery is a must watch for me. And it gets me so hyped. My biggest worry though is that if they completely miss the mark, then this will just like start the DC universe at like a really low level. So I hope that's not the case, but if this movie proves to be a banger, I will glaze it to the end of time. So just a heads up. For my 7th most anticipated film, we have The Odyssey. Now this is an obvious pick because it's a Christopher Nolan film, but the reason it's so low is because it's a Christopher Nolan film. Yeah. Well, he's good at creating a great theatrical experience. That's the only great thing really about him. A lot of his stories lack certain depth, especially when it comes to female characters. And for that, I just can't place it that high. I do like that we have some Greek mythology on the big screen though, because I had a huge phase in middle school. So Greek mythology is something that always interests me. I do think though that Christopher Nolan will do a good job with showing Greek mythology. But yeah, I'm just not as excited as everybody else is about it. Because yeah, I do have some criticisms about Oppenheimer, so but I'm still pretty excited for it. So for my 6th most anticipated film, we have Werewolf. Now, I'm the biggest Robert Eggers glazer. I'm not ashamed to admit that. Any movie he makes, I am totally sad for. And if it's anything similar to his other movies, I will probably give this 5 stars. So he's one of those visionary directors that just captivates me anytime I see it on the big screen. And I was a huge fan of Nosferatu. But I'm a little bit sad that I have to wait till December to watch this movie. But I'm hyped. Now, for my 5th most anticipated film, we have I Want Your Sex. Now this is Greg Araki's return to cinema after quite the hiatus. And of course, I'm very excited for this. Araki is probably my favorite LGBTQ director of all time. He puts so much of what he's dealt with into his movies, and it totally shows. And all of his movies I've seen have felt so raw and human. And so I'm excited to finally see one of his movies on the big screen. For my 4th most anticipated film of 2026, we have Supergirl. Now, being a huge fan of the newest Superman movie last year means I am naturally excited for this. Like I said before, I'm a huge DC nerd, and I have faith in James Gunn. And I think Millie Alcock is a phenomenal casting for Supergirl. And I'm super excited to see how she does as the lead in this movie. And also the main comic that this movie is based on is a banger. I can't wait to see how they relate this to the big screen. And yeah, I'm the biggest DC glazer you'll probably ever meet. So for my 3rd most anticipated film of 2026, we have Hunger Games: Sunrise on the Reaping. For those of you who don't know, I'm a massive fan of the Hunger Games movies. I think they're all bangers. And I'm really wanting to read the books. I've read the first one so far, but I can't seem to find the other books. So in a perfect world, I would be finished reading the books before this movie comes out, but I doubt that'll happen. But I'm still excited nonetheless. And yeah, the Hunger Games franchise is probably one of my favorite franchises that we have. So for my 2nd most anticipated film of 2026, we have Dune Part 3. Now, for those of you who saw my last video on my most anticipated watches, Dune Part 2 is number 1. Yeah, I didn't post this last year, so I did it for 2024, but yeah, it's natural that Part 3 will be on my list because Dune Part 2 just blew me out of the water and exceeded my already high expectations. So I'm excited for this movie and to see what it has in store. I'm not really too familiar with the books or anything like that, so don't really know what's going on, but I'm excited nonetheless. But now, the moment we all been waiting for, it's time for my most anticipated film of 2026, and it's obviously The Strangers Chapter 3. And this is the best trilogy since The Lord of the Rings, and no, I'm just joking. My most anticipated film of 2026 is Godzilla Minus Zero. Godzilla Minus One is one of my favorite movies of the last 5 years. That's how much I love it. So I'm really excited to see this. The team behind these movies just put so much passion and effort into them. And I can't wait to see this prequel on the big screen. And yeah, you have no idea how hyped I am for this. I'll probably watch this a million times. This will probably go in my top 100 of all time. And I'm actually slowly becoming more of a Godzilla fan. So yeah, I'm excited for this. I'm interested to see what they do because there's some weird things in the first movie that I hope gets explained somewhat. But yeah, that concludes this video. I know I left some bangers out of the list, but let me know your personal anticipated films of the year. And hope you enjoy this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful, fantastic, beautiful, amazing, phenomenal, awesome day. Toodles!